All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome. It is 2:01 UTC, and yes, I hang my head in absolute shame that we are running so incredibly late. The one thing that just absolutely drives me crazy uh, is is being late. But it's a little fun sometimes just to, you know, be a little bit late, just to give everybody a little cause for concern. It's like, oh man, he's 10 seconds late. There's something wrong. So yeah, I try to be just right on time. Sometimes that doesn't work out. I had to do a quick turn down. So I'm playing this music through my amp there, so I can hear it. But you're definitely not going to be able to hear it um, at this level. Plus, this mic is very directional, right? I mean, I move off of it just a little bit, and it's like gone, right? But I get right on it, and bango. So yeah. All right, welcome everybody. Come on in. Come on in. I've got the chat up. Was testing some new Nightbot functionalities, so we can now add quotes. So, and I think I set this up just for the mods, if I remember right. Um, but yeah, so feel free. I think the command is quote add, to add a quote, and then you know after we have a few, we can either do just a bang quote, or you can do like a bang quote three, and it'll push out the third quote in its list. So feel free to have fun with that one. Um, let's see. I think that's about it. So just sort of taking a little bit of time here to let folks come in and settle. We can look at my weather also. %91 humidity with Bobby. Speaking of Bobby, hey there, Bobby. Nice to see you on the panel.
Hey, we meet again.
All right, cool. So let's see. I'm going to go back to the chat because it probably has done it. So clear. Well, I'm not going to say that it's clear. It is a little bit windy, and the humidity is 44. So that seems about right. That seems about right. But it's
We talk about radio here, but I caught some sporadic E-skip on the FM band today.
yeah, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
And
So yeah,
caught some low power stations you just won't be able to hear anywhere else. I caught some good power stations around Central and North Louisiana and a couple of cities in Mississippi.
that's awesome. That's very awesome. Yeah, sporadic E isn't really that well understood, right?
It can be confused with tropospheric.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, as I recall, yesterday at this time, it was 46 at my location. Today it's 51. So that's probably why the humidity is a little bit lower. I think yesterday the humidity was 51. So the humidity has dropped, probably because the temperature is a little bit higher, and the dew point has stayed about the same, right? Sort of do that kind of math in your head. If you can do that kind of math in your head, then you're probably pretty good at doing science. And that was actually a thing that I wanted to maybe explore a little bit. Um, I I posted a chart over on my Discord server, which you can get a link to, an invite to, down in the description. So just click on that, and that'll invite you, whatever it does, to hook you up and get you onto the Astronomy Daily Live server, where we have a number of channels. There's a live stream channel and a channel for posting links to, interesting papers and articles. Let's see, there's an art channel, some miscellaneous. I think there's space, science. I just added a merch thing, which I'm still sort of like, well, I don't know about this. And there's a links to awesome, which is sort of everything else, right? Just all sort of the cool stuff. It doesn't have to be astronomy. It can be anything that's awesome, right? In fact, I just posted over there a link to a sort of what they call it, let me go get it. Let me go look at it here. What they call it? They called it a low temperature Stirling engine. So this particular one was being powered by the heat of somebody's hand. So, and it was running. So, could be fake, but probably not. There's a lot of energy in things that we don't think that there is a lot of energy in. So, yeah, I have no problem with that. So, yeah, I thought that was very, very cool. But I think the exciting thing going on right now is this comet that has suddenly appeared and has gotten very, very bright, very fast. So let me share my screen here, and we'll run over to Soho. And so this is the, I refreshed this screen maybe a few minutes before the live stream started. So this was the latest one prior to the beginning of the live stream, and as you can see, that was almost 5 hours ago. Almost 5 hours ago. But so you can definitely see here Mercury, right? Mercury is slowly moving westward because it's on our side of the sun, right? And it's moving east to west as it goes around the sun. And what it's essentially doing, right, is it's passing us. So, right, I mean, it's catching up to us right now, and then in another day or so, I don't remember exactly when it is, Mercury will be, approximately right about there or so. When this is lined up, when the right ascensions of these two objects, of the Sun and Mercury, are the same at that moment in time and space, that's known as inferior conjunction. So it's in conjunction with the Sun, meaning that it has the same right ascension. As you can see, it doesn't have the same declination. If it did, it'd be right in the center of the Sun, and we'd be watching a transit, which can happen from time to time. But this one's a close one, pretty darn close, right? That's within a solar diameter or so. So that's not too bad. That's a pretty close one. So that's going on, right? And Mercury's really bright, so we're getting a little bit of this thing called bleeding. Uh, it's just like when you're pouring water into something and it starts to overflow. It's pretty much exactly what's going on here. This object is so bright that it is saturating a number of pixels, and they are, those electrons are sort of spilling over into other rows. So, yeah, that's just what happens when they get bright, right? When they're really, really bright, you can sort of see, all these other.
Now, what is that streak at the bottom of the screen? I think I had like a little like a brief freeze on my computer here.
Well, this streak is that comet that we looked at yesterday. And as you can see, it's coming in, right? There it's going. It's going to be going, you can sort of follow this line, and it's like, whoop, it's going to be going just like that, right? So, but look, it's starting to make the CCD bleed too, so it's really bright. This, right now, I would say, is a visible, naked eye comet. The problem is that it is so close to the sun, we can't see it. There's too much of a glare. So, although it's incredibly bright, we can't see it. So, but I'm going to refresh this because I haven't refreshed in probably at least half an hour or so. So let's see if this thing has moved. If we've sort of, had this move along a little bit, it's going to be moving fast, right? I mean, over the next couple of days, this thing is going to swing all the way around. So, but let's do a refresh and just sort of see if there's anything new. So as I said, this was, like 5 hours ago? So I'm hoping that there's going to be an up. So let's find out. Nope, no update. So this is the narrow field, right? And this is the wide field. And you can see there's the comet there also. And that tail's going right through the star. Isn't that cool? So Mercury is now behind this blue mask that they put up. But let's update this one too, right? So this was about 5 hours ago as well. So let's see. Here we go. Nope. Yeah. So no new updates, which is always a frustration, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So yeah, this is sort of an ongoing, a little bit of astronomical drama here. These guys come in pretty often, but usually they're really small and really faint, and they really don't last. But this guy is getting really bright really fast. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's naked eye. And I did notice that there were a couple of tweets about this. Let's see. Is there any way to... Let's see if there's any... February 2018. No, there's not any news releases about it. That's kind of a bummer. Yeah, 2124. That's the latest. That's the latest one. Let's see if let's just do a use the technology that we have here.
And while we're waiting, there's Andy Calloway and Daniel Browning at the chat. So welcome.
Well, hey there.
I did a power cycle on the microphone, so it should be okay.
Okie dokie. Melbourne, or Melbourne. Cloudy, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's I don't think I'm going to do that then. They don't have their certificates updated. It's kind of a bummer. Let's see. Okay. But you're, let's see, you're going into close to summer. So is 65 degrees this time of the spring? Is that a little cold, a little warm? Just about right? Because it's springtime down there, or over there, I should say. There is no up and down. All right, well, I'm not too happy about this.
Yeah.
Let's see if let's see. Well, they've got some movies and things. That's not very exciting. Let's do 2018. Oh, yeah. Soho, what's new? Hey. Oh, nope. Yeah, it's not new enough. Recent reports. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so here we go.
Kind of a bit crazy. They're trying to shove encryption security down to their throats, and they don't want to do it. Yeah, that's entirely possible. So C2 upper left. So yeah, this is what's called a Kreutz group comet. We're going to look that up because I don't remember exactly what that is. Now I'm not quite sure what all these numbers are. I really don't know. Do those numbers make any sense to anybody? I'm not really seeing anything. Let's see if we can update here. I'm looking for that latest image. Nope, nothing new there. Nothing new there. So, okay, well, you know, they're talking about it. They've got it in their sights. See, here was another one just a couple days ago, right? And here's another one. So, you know, these things, they come in pretty often, but these brighter ones are a little more rare. So that's pretty cool. This is kind of an interesting website. I wish they would get their certificates fixed, because it looks like it's kind of you know, some interesting things going on here. Yeah, look at all that. Transits. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the Mercury one, where's the Mercury one? Is that? I wonder if that's this one. Yep.
November 24th through the 30th. So that's, let's see if we can get a bigger view. So this thin line right here is the one it's doing right now. And what, it's right about here right now. So cool. Okay, so this is the wide field one. Cool. Okay. It's the wide field one, and here's the narrow field one. So this is the blue one that we see. That's this one. That's a nice wide field of view. And then this one is the red one. That's this one. So, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's going on. And the other pretty exciting thing is that the latest mission to Mars, the InSight lander, is going to be landing on Mars in just a couple of days. It's going to be happening Monday. I guess Monday, 20 hours UTC. I think that's right. They publicized it in terms of Eastern Standard Time in the United States, and that was 3 p.m. So 15 hours Eastern Time. So that's 2 hours ahead of me. And UTC, of course, is always 7 hours ahead of me. So 15 minus 2 is 13, plus 7 is 20. So yeah, I think they're going to be landing about 20 hours UTC. So cool. Forgot to...
Cosmic.
Yo!
Hey, maybe if you could post that link that you were share screen on the Discord, I want to try to look at it myself.
Which one was that?
The one about the comets and stuff, and what's around the sun.
Oh, this one? Okay. Yeah, I can get back to where I was. So I was just looking at transits. So I think this is yeah. So this. So do you want me to put that over on the Discord? You said.
Yeah, like either at the live stream chat or something.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Done. As you wish. And cheers. So yeah, InSight is coming in, landing on Mars on Monday. So yeah, just a couple of days out now, and these landings are real nail biters, because it's just everyone has done everything that they can, and now it's just like, if everything works, right, and even if the primaries fail, oftentimes there are backups. So so even if the primaries fail, as long as the backups work, we are going to be good. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes.
Now, I'm on the site right now. Where do I need to go to look at that image that you was on?
I think I was just looking at the transits. So
yeah, where you go for transits?
You go. Well, there's a link that says LASCO C3 transits.
Okay, there it is. I see it now.
And then if you scroll down, there's a list of the transits, and then if you click on any of those, you get what I was.
Now, where do you need to go again? After you go to transits?
If you scroll sort of down, you'll see a list of links. It says, 2000 transits, 2001, 2002. Well, there's a 2018 one.
Okay, now
You got it?
got it.
Cool. All right. So, yeah. Insight is going to be
I
pretty
really like
awesome.
the way that you can view the transits now as well, and compared to like the ones that you're going to get like that between like now and like in December and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very useful. For sure. All right.
Yeah.
So Insight, landing Monday, going, I'm not exactly sure what the sequence of events, once they land, I'm not exactly sure what the plan is. I'm getting a huge echo.
Yeah, let me try to. Okay.
Tame that echo.
This one too.
Yeah, I can hear you, and I don't hear any echo either. Well, now I do. Yeah, that echoing is distracting. Melbourne weather is crazy. All right. So, yeah, as I said, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what the sequence of events is going to be after they land. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think they do have some cameras. Nothing too sophisticated or anything, because they put all the sophistication into the basically the two devices. They have a seismometer, extremely sensitive, like extremely, such that they have to put a cover over it to block out the wind and the changes in atmospheric pressure and all that. So yeah, it's like crazy sensitive. And then they have another device that it's some kind of a probe, like a temperature probe, that they're going to bang into the ground. And I think they want to go, as far as they can. And I think as far as they can is like 5 meters, which is pretty darn deep. It's got some kind of spring-loaded hammer that drives this thing into the ground, just bang, bang, bang. So we'll see how that works. I mean, if it hits a rock, sort of square on, it's not going to go anywhere. But they were saying that if it hits a rock at sort of a weird angle, it'll just sort of bend around it. So that's cool. But yeah, so they're going to be able to measure temperature gradients from pretty deep. I mean, if they can get 5 meters down, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, I would say. So yeah, it's just this 6 or 7 minutes of just nail biting, just like on total edge, because as I said, everybody's done as much as they can, and if everything goes to the script, then they'll land it, right? If things don't go exactly to script, then who knows, right? But I think it's going to go all right. I think so. I think so. It's and yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting mission. I guess the first phase, what they're going to be doing now, is is going to last one Martian year, which is what, like 22 months, so almost 2 years on Earth. Um, so so yeah, I think that'll be a good run. Um, with this kind of thing, though, right? Especially the seismology stuff. Um, what you need is time. You need to measure, um, you know, frequently, but over very long time periods. And unfortunately, probably 2 years, 22 months, um, isn't isn't very long. So hopefully they will get a number of extensions, right? That's usually how those things go. When you have a successful mission, and it's got enough power and everything's running, and they're getting some good data, and you know the data that they're getting is maybe answering some questions but creating a lot more. Cheers, by the way. I've got the old standby hydrogen hydroxide, HOH. That's two hydrogens and one oxygen. And this is sort of a cocktail. So I mean, it's not just that, but it's mostly that, right? I mean, in terms of number, yeah, there's mostly just this awesome molecule. There's quite a few of them in here, probably close to 10 to the 24th of them just in here. So it's amazing. It's a multitude. It's a grand multitude right in our hands. It's amazing. Cheers. All right. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting mission, I think. And um, they're I guess they're landing somewhere pretty benign, right? They don't want any kind of challenges in terms of landing. They just want to get it down, right? And that's it. So, try to pick out the best place that's the easiest to land and is going to return, the most amazing science. And they've accomplished that for sure. So yeah, it's going to be a fun mission.
So when is that insight waiting again?
I believe it's supposed to be happening about 20 hours UTC on, let's see, 20 hours UTC on Monday, the 26th. Yeah. I think that's right. So yeah, Monday 26, 20 hours UTC. So I think for some of you that might be the 27th, and I don't think for any of you it'd be the 25th. So it's either going to be the 26th or the 27th. So you'll have to check your local time.
2000 hours, so that's like, at my time, 19, 18, 17, 16, about 2 o'clock local here. By local.
Yeah, you're Central, right?
Yeah, Central Standard now.
Yeah, so we're just an hour apart. Cool. Yeah. Just keep that in mind. I think I'm going to I'm gonna definitely be watching that. So yeah, I probably will just watch, NASA's channel or something like that. Um, so yeah, I think that'll be great. It'll be the typical nail biter thing, but and one of the other cool things about this mission um, are these two spacecraft that are called Marco A and Marco B, I believe. That's what they're called. These are communication relay satellites. They are CubeSats that have these weird antennas that they can sort of fold out, and it's some kind of new technology of some sort. And these two little CubeSats are actually able to be used as relay satellites. So InSight either will or can um, uh, send its information to these CubeSats, and then the CubeSats send it to Earth, send it to the Deep Space Network. So yeah, I think that's very, very cool. I don't. My guess is just a wild guess is that InSight probably has a means of direct communication with Earth. It probably also has a means of connecting to like Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter or one of the other orbiters there who also act as relay satellites. So I think they probably have three options when it comes to communicating.
And welcome, Tim Robinson. How are you?
Hey there, Tim. Nice to see ya. Cheers. Pull up a chair. So we're talking about Mars InSight and the landing that's going to be occurring in just a couple days. So Monday at 20 hours UTC. So I think for you, Tim, right, that is actually 20 hours. So that's 8.
Okay, now just out of my curiosity, do you think I should close this Discord app? It keeps like bugging me with all those notifications and stuff, and see if that will wear the echoing.
Oh, I don't know. I guess so.
Because I keep on being dinged on and stuff. It's that knowledge of fellowship thing.
The knowledge of fellowship. Cool. A flying visit. Good. We like those kinds of visits. So yeah, everything is well over here. We're getting into winter time a little bit, so it's starting to get chilly, at least relatively speaking. I mean, where you are, yeah, I don't know how you guys do that. So I definitely cannot, or won't, as the case may be. So, well, cool. So yeah, keep an eye on InSight. Yeah, it's going to be live streamed everywhere. So pick your favorite one. Like I said, and like you have sort of observed with this live stream, I like to go to the source. So as far as I'm concerned, that source is NASA. So I'll probably just be watching NASA TV. That's as good as any of them. And
yeah, I think NASA will be able to do it.
Yeah. I think that is what I've done in the past, and that's what I will continue to do. So yeah, I think that'll be fun, and I don't if I can see into the future, right? I'm just not. I'm not getting any trouble at all. So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a uneventful landing. And like I said, I'm not quite sure. Let's go and look. Let's see what the sequence of events after it lands are. So I'm going to set that up, and then we can, and then I'll share my screen here. So let's see. We'll go over to here first. Scooch up a little bit.
If it echoes again, let me know. I'm just like checking. I'm just monitoring around, and I'll take my disengage from the panel and power cycle my microphone again.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there's a substantial amount of echo, I would say. So let's look at timeline here. Landing surface ops. I guess it'd be under surface ops, right? Pre-launch, launch, surface ops. Here we go.
All right, I'm gonna leave here and cycle the microphone. Be right back.
All right, Bobby, that sounds fine. So it says that the InSight lander begins surface operations the minute it lands. But science data collection doesn't fully start until about 10 weeks after landing. Because, yeah, they have to, they got to check everything out, and they have to take their first set of calibration data. And, they've practiced all of this, right? So they know what they're doing. But, there's always a surprise. There's always, who knows, right? So, yeah, I think they're probably being pretty conservative with 10 weeks. But there's a lot that they have to do, right? So they got to make sure everything works, all that. So, yeah. So cool. Yeah. So 728 days. 728 days. That's 728 divided by 5. Divided by 365 is, yeah, wow, that's like 1.99 years. So that's almost exactly 2 years. It might as well be exactly two years. Bobby, you're back.
Hey, okay, I just power cycled the microphone again.
All right. I think it sounds. I don't hear anything. No, I definitely don't hear anything. Cool. Excelente. So let's see. What else is this showing off here? I am sharing my screen, aren't I? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I was going to get that all set up and then share my screen. There we go. All right, so yeah, so here, I was just reading this. I thought that you were following along, and you weren't. But yeah, so here we go. So 728 days is 2 years. This is nearly 2 years, and it's like, well, 1.99 years. I think that's pretty much 2. So it says, first things first, solar power. The dust from landing should settle about 15 minutes after InSight makes it to the surface. After this, the solar array motors warm up and prepare to unfurl the solar panels. This is an important activity that ensures that the lander has all the power it needs to get to work on Mars. yeah, as I recall, and I don't know if I mentioned it here, but yeah, the location that they're landing is near the equator. Um, so that sort of maximizes the amount of sunlight, right? Because Mars is tilted almost exactly the same as the Earth is, so it goes through the same basic seasons. So being on the equator sort of maximizes your solar exposure. Okay, so let's see. After or other checkouts on landing day. So check the lander's health. Take a wide angle image with the lens cover on and powering down for the first night. So that's kind of interesting. Take a wide angle image with lens cover on. Huh. I guess just want to make sure that the camera works. Hasn't been damaged in any way. So let's see. So some science data collection begins the first week after landing. The rotation and interior structure experiment begins collecting data a few days after landing. I think this is the radio data, so they can actually measure the position of this lander to within like 2 centimeters, and I guess that's enough to be able to look at how Mars wobbles as it spins. So yeah, just amazing. Let's see. So yeah, so they're going to take pictures of the instrument deployment area and start monitoring the weather and surface temperature. Cool. All right, well, cool. So yeah, so that is happening Monday, and yeah, it looks like, right, they're going to deploy the seismometer 5 to 6 weeks after landing. All right, so here it is. You can sort of see it there. So the heat probe begins to burrow about 1 week after the seismometer is in place. Because I guess they want to maybe measure the ground shaking as this thing is pounded into the ground. That's cool. So, okay, slowly burrows into the ground like a self-hammering nail. It hammers down for up to 4 hours at a time. Each 4-hour period is known as a hammering cycle. As it descends, it stops roughly every 50 centimeters to generate a pulse of heat. The probe watches how this pulse of heat travels through the subsurface material around it. Okay. Okay, so yeah. So it just has a heat pulse generator right at the tip, and it sends this out as it's going down, and then I guess it can probably send it out, once it's all the way down too. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so as the heat probe makes its way down, its hammering motion will generate vibrations. Cool. Seismometer should be able to measure the speed of the vibrational waves in the soil generated by the hammering motion. and reflections too. Very cool. Yeah, seismology is absolutely incredible. It's amazing how much information is in those wiggles. It's absolutely incredible. I took a graduate level seismology course when I was at the University of Arizona, and it was uh, that. And here I'll go back to this. That was a really interesting course because uh, that that course is when I learned partial differential equations, hands down. that's that's what's used in seismology more than anything else is partial diff EQ, and yeah, it's some amazing mathematics. But that's how the world works. At least that's how we describe how the world works. So very, very cool. Yeah. So I think having a very, very sensitive seismometer with a lot of dynamic range um, is is a uh, is a brilliant, absolutely brilliant choice. Um, it's exactly what we need up there. The next thing that we need up there, and I think everybody would agree, is that we need a microphone. We need just. I mean, now it could be a sophisticated one, right? Really sensitive, high dynamic, all that. But it doesn't have to be, right? Just throw something up there, um, because I think everybody wants to know what Mars sounds like. I think it'd be great. Maybe it doesn't sound like anything. The atmosphere is like 1% that of Earth, right? So their sound is going to be very, very, very faint, right? I mean that's what that's a factor of 100 fainter. So 20 dB down. So are we going to hear anything at all? And it's it's carbon dioxide. So sound, frequencies of sound sound different as they go through different media, right? I mean, we hear what we hear because that sound is moving through air, right? Which is mostly nitrogen, but there's a little bit of oxygen and a little bit of this and that, right? But on Mars, I think it's carbon dioxide, if I remember right. So sound is going to be pretty different. But yeah, I would like to hear it. I'd like to hear it, and so set up a microphone. Maybe it has to be extra sensitive, or just put in a little preamplifier or something low power, right? And yeah, give it a listen. I think Mars might sound kind of interesting, right? I don't know. Cheers. All right, well, cool. That is what is on my mind. I think what I want to do is, yeah, send a few mics up there. Heck yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the comet going around the sun one more time. So let's see if it's updated. It has not updated. So we're going on 5.5 hours of no updates. It's this is actually sort of typical, and it's a real pain because we're pretty excited about these kinds of things, and when we can't see them happening, it's pretty agonizing. So yeah, but I guess that's how it goes. So yeah, I think for now I am going to get on out of here. I'm going to be watching that comet over the next day or so because it's going to be swinging around the sun. That's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, I think for now I'm going to get out of here. So thanks everybody for coming in again. It's always great to get together and just sort of share this passion for astronomy. It's amazing, right? All of it is just absolutely incredible. So come along with me, and we'll look at all this stuff together. It's kind of fun to do that. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here for now. One more spin, and I will be back in almost exactly 23 hours from now. So, all right, take care, everybody. I will see you later. Peace and out.